All right, we'll take news brief next. You ready, David? Stand by for the open. 3, 2.
An ABC News Brief. Now from New York, David Muir.
Good afternoon. Queen Elizabeth's husband, Prince Philip, has been rushed to the hospital with an infection just as Britain celebrates the Queen's Diamond Jubilee. I was 12 years old when I wrote to the local news guy saying I hope to have your job one day, and what do I have to do to get there? It was a typewritten response on the newsroom typewriters, the giant font, and I'll never forget what he wrote at the end of that letter. He said, competition in television news is keen, but that there's always room for the right person. It could be you. A short time after that, I went into the station for a visit, and soon after that began visiting on my summer breaks and on vacations, and became the student intern, and often would carry the tripods, which were giant back then, and rip the scripts before the newscast when they still had the 5-ply paper, and would fetch the Cokes from the vending machine and race them to the studio. And I did that for many years. I went to Ithaca College to study journalism. Before I graduated, my second semester, senior year, they hired me, actually, that station where I had spent so much time as that kid intern. I would drive up to Syracuse, New York, and anchor the weekend newscasts. But anchoring the newscasts meant you produced them, you wrote the copy, and then you went out there. And I'll never forget, I had a yellow stopwatch and would time the broadcast from beneath the desk. The sort of next big break that came, it was a phone call from Boston, and the news director there, Candy Altman, who'd been looking through stacks and stacks of tapes. She said she had really finished her search, but she tells me to this day that there was something that told her, just look at the next tape that's sitting there.
The voters will get their chance to weigh in on the negative crash into the World Trade Center originated from Logan Airport.
I'll never forget being here on 9/11. We were on the air, 24/7, and my job was to stand in front of Logan Airport, and the image is seared in my mind.
Well, Liz, Boston's fire commissioner tells me he's never answered a call like this one.
News Tonight anchor David Muir is there in Paris for us this morning. Good morning, David.
Robin and George, good morning. A very powerful moment, that moment of silence a short time ago that you mentioned. We're in the Place de République, and you can see behind me the memorial that's growing here really by the hour. And it was here just 24 hours ago. There was that sudden chaotic stampede when someone set off a firework, showing just how uneasy the people of Paris are really feeling in the wake of these terror attacks. And we heard Terry Moran report just moments ago that siege going on in Brussels right now. And you can see here in Paris, they woke up to this image today, that possible 8th terrorist, that manhunt, the fugitive on the run. Everyone aware of this man, just as the Prime Minister here saying, we don't want to scare people, but we do want to warn them.
Great Made in America Christmas tonight. Last-minute shoppers out in force. And this evening, viewers across America with their one thing, Made in America.
The clocks are ticking. It's the most wonderful time of the year, which is why our Great Made in America Christmas is back. And what a month.
Are you in?
Yeah, I'm in.
And where was she from?
Bethlehem, PA.
You're from Bethlehem, PA.
And more importantly,
Are you in?
I'm in.
You'll buy one thing.
Definitely.
and then there was Santa's helper, too.
Where's that hat made?
Made in China. Not from the North Pole, that's for sure.
That won't make Santa's elves very happy.
We are Santa's elves.
Remember, in the 60s, 9 out of 10 products we bought made in America. Today, more than half foreign made.
The most important piece of advice I give is to go out, intern, and make yourself known for all the right reasons. Because I really remember being that little kid this day, yesterday. When I hear from a young person who wants to be a journalist one day, I always try to call back or write back or tweet back because it makes a difference in their lives, gives them a little inspiration and hopefully a little bit of guidance. But I always add, now go out and make yourself known.